What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out a band I've actually never heard of before. The band is called We Three. This song is called Sara. It's live from the Dear Paranoia virtual show. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked to, I always like when we check out a band and the first time we check them out is a live performance. I feel like you do get a lot of the characteristics that make a band stand out when you get to watch them perform live. I want to give a huge shout out to Danielle over on Patreon for actually requesting this video and supporting me over there. Thank you so much for this request. I'm excited to dive in. I feel like this might be a little bit heavy of a track. I definitely see some resources for suicide prevention and things here in the description of this video. So I'm going to go in with that in mind and let's see. Let's see. I love those like light bar things they use in
girl named Sara.
In these live performances.
There are so many Saras in the world, including myself. And the lie that Saras tell themselves is that they're alone. Nobody relates, nobody gets it. And that is just a lie. It's as simple as that. I chose to tell the end of Sara's story as bad as it gets. This next song could be a trigger warning for some of you. But please know, anyone who's out there and they're struggling, you are loved and you are enough.
If it isn't enough for you to hear it from them, you'll hear it from me as well. You are not alone. You are 100% enough. And you're not alone even right now. I struggle with this. I've struggled with this. I am always in therapy for anxiety, depression, and now ADHD. I struggle with these things too. They've definitely made an impact on my entire existence, basically, from such a young age, even until, 3 days ago. It's one of those things that people struggle with, and I didn't know for the majority of my life that I wasn't alone. I just masked it. I never talked about it. I would joke about it, about myself as a way to try to get people to hear because I thought I was alone. And it wasn't until I spoke to people and started, saying it, especially on social media and stuff, that I realized that we are so not alone. So I am telling you now, you're not alone. But now I know this is going to be heavy.
Sara, you're a diamond in the rough, and I know that you don't hear this all enough. And I'm sure that's why your wrists have tons of cuts. And I'm sure that's why you think you're not enough. On your 19th birthday, you thought that you were done. Tons of people in your home, but it only felt like one. Cause your brain can only think about the waiting loaded gun. But your friends are all still here, so you pretend you're having fun. All your friends, they wanna drink cause it's your birthday. But you've been drinking straight probably since last Thursday. Drinking is the only thing that makes you feel just okay. It keeps the trigger finger off the trigger in the bay. Your mind can only think about the things it shouldn't. Your brain is filled with thoughts of wishing that you didn't. Little Sara, perk your ears up, try to listen. But she can't hear a sound because she's locked in a prison. She can barely see the pavement. She can barely read the signs. People think she's complicated, but never wanna look inside.
Okay, a couple things right away. Obviously, that lyricism comes from a standpoint of somebody who obviously understood, telling the story, but also understood from a perspective of somebody who's gone through it. Like you can definitely hear that in the lyricism there. And I think there's a lot of honesty and a lot of revelation that comes through that. Oh, fuck. Okay. The delivery of that verse. I love that it's more of a almost spoken word style, a little bit of instrumental kind of going on in the back. But then when we get that transition into this, what I guess is the actual verse, or maybe even if it's the chorus, his vocals really come to life there and really, take body and shape. And then these harmonies that are happening too from the bass player, like this is just so good.
She's a little too R-rated, never been up too damn blind. She's just looking for angels.
Oh my God. Sara, you've been skipping out in class. Any minute now your friends are gonna ask, why the hell you're always acting sort of sad? Why the hell your weed just never seems to last? But the truth is you don't want to let your secret out, cause they think it's wrong for you to take a different route. I'll accept your mom, too bad that she's just not around. And don't get me wrong, that's what you've tried to get them out. But their views been skewed from their plastic and news, from their plasma tube, so they won't fit in your shoes except for Sunday blues. But you got Monday blues, you got Tuesday blues, damn every day you might lose all your fuck. I have goosebumps. Oh my God. It's like, I feel like even if you don't struggle with these things, you can definitely hear. Look at this. I can feel it all up my legs. Like when you connect with lyricism, this is how my body responds to that. It always has. When I connect with a song or connect with lyricism, it invokes a physical response that I can't explain. It's a sensation that kind of overwhelms you. He says right here, you get the Sunday blues, the Monday blues, the Tuesday blues. If you struggle with depression, and I feel like we can openly talk about this now that you kind of know where I'm at too. So, bear in mind those things. But when you struggle with depression, you cannot explain the amount of hopelessness that you have. You cannot explain how waking up in the morning almost seems like you already failed. You know what I mean? Like you can't explain that to somebody. And I'm so thankful that, I had someone that I could finally be like, this is how I feel. And, I was able to get some help and get some, I guess, sort of navigation, or at least tools to navigate through these situations in my life. But if I'm telling this from the perspective of Sara, that is what it's like when people don't know, or people just, assume that you're fine, or assume these things, and you don't openly tell people because you feel like suffering in silence is the only way to suffer because no one's going to understand. And I think that's where that message of you are not alone, I think really hits on a whole nother level, because if more people knew they weren't alone, then more people knew that there would be people that you could pour your heart out to that wouldn't just be there to agree with you. They would be there as people who struggle with those same things. I think there's power to be said in that. Also, can I just say the delivery right now? The amount of emotions are so high in the delivery of this track right now. Fuck.
Think it's wrong for you to take a different route. I'll accept your mom, too bad that she's just not around. And don't get me wrong, that's what you've tried to get them out. But their views been skewed from their plastic and news, from their plasma tubes, so they won't fit in your shoes, except for Sunday blues. But you got Monday blues, you got Tuesday blues, damn every day you might lose. All your friends, they want to smoke since it's Friday, but you've been smoking straight probably since last Sunday. I know you shouldn't say that you were okay, but see you look them in the eye and lie, then go to use your ashtray. She can barely see the pavement, she can barely read the signs. People think she's complicated, but never wanna look inside. Cause she's a little too R-rated, and they're a little too damn blind. She's just looking for angels, but they're a little hard to find.
Fuck. Oh my God, his voice is so good for this.
Little Sara, last night you got it bad. In that moment you could barely even add up 2-3 reasons why you're glad. And I guess that's why you grabbed your pen and pad. It was 6:14 and you could barely even read all the words you'd written down when it was time for you to leave. Your phone was on the ground and you could barely hear it ring. Couldn't even hear a sound, couldn't feel a single thing. Now it's 6:15 and you're on your knees, but it's on your sleeves and your lungs won't breathe. There's a watering, body shivering, and you're wondering what is happening. Now it's 6:23 and they're on their knees begging Jesus, please, can you make her breathe? Cause they finally see what was happening underneath their nose, and I need you to leave. She can barely see the pavement, she can barely read the signs. People think she's complicated, but never wanna look inside. Cause she's a little too R-rated.
Oh my God.
A little too damn blind. She's just looking for angels, but they're a little hard to find.
I am just absolutely covered in goosebumps right now. And I'm stuck. All right, let's dive into this. For the first time experiencing a band, first time checking out a band, really glad we did this live. I feel like the emotions of this song are so intense that it's one of the songs that you really appreciate when you see it live, because it's one of those moments where bands write about a lot of stuff. And I feel like sometimes when it comes to this, kind of like subject, I think that I feel like there's times when, I don't know, bands or musicians who maybe don't struggle with these things try to write it, and they do it from a good place, but sometimes it doesn't hit the way it just did. My brain's going slow right now because that was a lot to take in. But I've seen, I don't know, I've heard like songs, I've seen songs being sung about similar situations, and I'm not gonna name any bands or anything, but I just feel like it comes from a good place, but that doesn't mean it has the same passion. And the reason I say that is because it's really hard for people who don't struggle with these things to completely understand like what a person would go through in that situation, or what would lead up to the situation, you know, to have the end result like this did. And it's one of those times where when you get personal experience in a track like this, one, you don't want to feel that pain, but at the same time, there's a level of comfort because you find out that, yeah, you're really not alone. And the reason I can say that is because I'm watching this performance, I can hear the lyricism, and this is literally like a view from a person who's struggling with this, which I believe he kind of, you know, touched on, that, you know, he himself was a Sara, or is a Sara. And why that hits so hard is because the emotional performance that he delivers in the vocals of this track tell me everything I need to know about the authenticity of this song, written from the perspective it's written in, and the amount of pain that someone has to deal with. Even when you get better, there is still a lot of things that go on in your head. You just find a way to, you know, learn how to navigate things and learn how to, you know, look at things in a different light. And him singing right there is everything I need to know. Like, he meant every goddamn word. The emotion was so high, and that delivery is something that you can't touch that. You can't beat that at all, because you get that passion coming to life. And what it does is it creates that therapeutic moment that I believe music really is at its best when this happens. When you have a chance to have that therapeutic moment, that chance to spread that message, that chance to speak what is on your heart that may weigh heavy. And in doing that as an artist, you get your therapeutic moment to let that out. But in doing this from a fan's perspective, or from a musical fan's perspective, you get a chance to connect and a chance to realize that you're not alone, and that there are other people out there dealing with the exact same issues or similar issues that you are. And sometimes in learning that other people are doing that, it starts to make you feel, I wouldn't say better, because that's sure as fuck not what it does, but it just makes you feel like if you had the capacity to reach out, that you could find someone else going through similar things. And sometimes in talking to it, not just in therapy, although I do believe therapy is great for some people, it worked really well for me, but sometimes being able to talk to other people who have just gone through similar things as you, that connection that you feel with those people sometimes can be the little push you need. And so, you know, watching this performance, I immediately get that. Like, I immediately see him performing, singing this song, locking eyes with him, even though he obviously can't see me. We're looking through a video, but that connection right there tells me everything I need to know about the struggles he's going through, or the struggles that he's been through, and the connection that is there that makes me feel like, even though we don't know each other, we understand each other. I think there's something really big to be said about that. The song's obviously super tragic and really sad, but it's real. And sometimes that's what makes it hurt so much more. It's real. Like, this happens every single day. And oftentimes it's just because people either don't know, or, you know, that one person's not there to be like, hey, I see what's happening regardless of what you want to tell me. And it is hard to do those things. It is hard to always see the signs. Trust me, I was a pro at masking anything that I felt. And it turns out, you know, that was unhealthy too. But people, and I'm sure that some of you that are watching this that maybe love this song and you're looking for reactions to it, you probably absolutely understand the pain in this, and understand and feel empathetic and even feel personal at some points when it comes to this song. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Danielle on Patreon for requesting this video. Yes, this is deep. but I think that it's a really great way for me to experience this band because I can definitely see the passion and authenticity is there. They sounded so beautiful in this. Even though it's such a somber moment, it really is like a wake-up call to a lot of people too, and I think there's something beautiful about that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this track. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.